Hi, welcome. My name is Vilingor and welcome to yet another video of mine. And today's topic, the topic of today's video is gonna be about food, about healthy food, a topic that is of great interest to me. And well, I'm gonna make a statement in this video, so let's maybe just start the video with this statement. And this statement is something that many people will find controversial, let's put it that way, and will not agree with me on my point of view, but I just wanted to make this video to express my point of view and to explain why I have such a point of view, because it might be interesting to some people out there that maybe will learn about a different perspective and maybe even agree with me. So, what is the basic statement of this video? The basic statement of this video is that the majority of our food today, of fruits and vegetables that we eat, is poisoned. Now, I know this is of course a big word, poisoned, but let me explain just what I mean by it. And so maybe let me start by clarifying that it's not a kind of a poison and that will kill a person immediately, like for example a snake bite would. Today's food, today's industrial food, is poisoned in such a way that it takes time for a person to get ill and to get some results is not the right word, but to get some consequences out of eating this poisoned food that the majority of people today unfortunately eats. So maybe just for starters, it's important to make a distinction between two kinds of food. So let's call one type of food the industrial food, and let's call the other type of food the organic food. Let's specify what industrial food is. The industrially produced food. Industrially produced food is the majority of the food that we have available today, and that is the food that is sold commonly in marketplaces, supermarkets, and this kind of food is produced by using pesticides, herbicides, artificial fertilizers, so chemicals basically, and chemistry. So that's industrial food. And industrial food makes the vast majority of the food available today, unfortunately, on the market. But still this is changing, which is fortunate. More and more foods today are becoming closer as, well, let's put it this way. Organic food is more and more available on the marketplace, generally speaking, of the world, which is a great thing. I live in Bosnia, in a countryside in Bosnia, and some organic food is becoming available. There's a certain kind of pasta right now that I can buy in my little village countryside store, grocery store, and it's organic, which is a great thing. So let's put it this way. Also, let's define also what organic means. By organic, I mean food that is not grown with herbicides, pesticides, artificial fertilizers, and so on. Of course, GMO-free, genetically modified food free. That's what organic food should be. At least that's how I define it for the purpose of this video. And why am I making this video? Well, in my mind, it's kind of important. Well, and for sure it was very important for my life, in my opinion. I think the food that I used to eat industrial food, almost like for the most part, when in my previous years, and at a certain point I got sick, and then I did get an inflammation of the tonsils, and they became like chronically inflamed. At the time I used to sing a lot. I was kind of pursuing a singing career, sort of, and my tonsils got sick, and I had an option of making an operation or just living with it. That's what doctors said to me. And when I saw what it takes to make an operation, all the procedures I need to go through, and what I have to agree, and how many things could go wrong during the operation, and I would have to sign the document that I am releasing the doctors of any responsibility if any of these tragic things happened during the operation, I said no thank you. And I kind of stopped pursuing my singing career, and for the last maybe 10 years, I don't know, I'm not good with counting time, I've been pursuing a path of physical healing. I've been exploring with foods, with a way of living, with sleeping, with changing my lifestyle, so to find a solution to get better. Because the modern medicine, the mainstream medicine, was offering me just the solution of, or you live with it or we cut it off. And to me, that's just not a solution at all. Cutting off a part of the body to heal it, that to me is just out of mind. That's just insanity to me. That's not cure, that's not healing. So I started to experiment and trying to find a way to heal myself. And the food, well, first I stopped smoking, because I used to smoke cigarettes, that was one thing. And then I started to change my diet. And this took me on a long journey of experimentation with different kinds of diets. However, one thing that, from my experience in these maybe 10 years or more, that I did found as a constant is that industrial food just harms me. That's how it is. And every time I eat it, I can sense it in my body, the difference when I eat the industrial food. Because as things are today, almost 100% of what I eat is organic. I organized my life in a way that I always buy organic food and eat organic food and stuff, vegetables, fruits. But anytime I kind of slip over for some reasons. Maybe I'm traveling, or I have less time, and I do buy some industrial food. I really hope when I buy that food that it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be good, and I'm gonna be fine when I eat it. But yeah, almost every time I learn again and again that it just is not good food for the body. It hurts my stomach, then it moves up to the tonsils, then maybe I get a sort of a headache. This is how I noticed how I don't know, the poisons move around, I guess. Now, I never really studied the scientific part of it. I was really not much interested in the scientific part of it either, of what's really going on, why the industrial food has this effect on my body, and why the organic food is okay. But I guess one could research, and I heard some things about artificial fertilizers having an effect on the human body that is not beneficial. And as I said, herbicides and pesticides, even though maybe they are in quantities that are approved by science, and the science is saying, yes, we use herbicides, I'm sorry, and pesticides on the plants, but it's a safe amount. And yes, there is some quantity of these substances in the plants, but it's a safe quantity. Something like that, I think, is the scientific opinion. But in practice, with the experience with my own body through years, I disagree with that. I think there are consequences, and I think these toxins do accumulate in the body, and in the long run, they create ultimately cancer. I think that's the reason why the cancer is rampant in our society. And I mean, in these years that we are living in, it seems that we agree that the cancer rates are increasing throughout the years. And I think that the reason is the food. I mean, what changed, right? Just let's look at what changed. If you look back in the history just a little bit far back, fertilizers and herbicides were not used. Some people say up until the Second World War II. Yeah, there's this story that after the Second World War II, there were a bunch of these industries that were making what they are called, these gases for the military, and chemical substances for the military to be used in the war. But after the war, all this industry was, not being used. So the production of herbicides, pesticides, artificial fertilizers started, because after the World War II, the facilities were there, the industry was there, so it was used, and that's what produced the modern agriculture. That was not the way how the food was produced. Even I think 70, 80 years ago, I think. My grandfather for sure did not produce the food with pesticides, herbicides, for sure, as far as I know. And yeah, so I have bullet points here just not to go too much off the topic. And yeah, so that's what I wanted to say. That's what I wanted to point out in this video. And why is this poisoned food that we eat, most of us, why is it a problem? Well, I think that the answer is an obvious one. There are many health issues, I think, related to eating this poisoned, low-quality food. It's not even low quality. Yes, it is low quality in a sense that it lacks minerals and it lacks nutrients, because it's low quality in that sense, but when there are substances that are harmful, then it's poisonous. So, and I think both of this, at least, it can be seen in the vegetables, in the fruits themselves, this poisoning of the food. Because if you take like an organic apple and an industrially produced apple, one does not need to be a scientist and analyze it chemically, I think, to notice that they are very different. And just by using the senses of smell, touch, taste, we can see that they are drastically different. The industrially produced apple is much less tasty, has much less smell, doesn't smell much like an apple, and the texture of it is much more different. Usually it's more starchy, it's more maybe brittle or resistant. There is a specific texture to it that can be noticed, and it's also kind of perfect. There are no blemishes there, and there's just nothing eats it. There are no bugs attacking it, and that's why it's so perfect. But that should be a warning, because we get fooled as humans. We are not using our senses. We are kinda in our heads, so we forget to use our senses. But animals are senses are what animals are good at, let's say, good at using. So no bug will eat that kind of apple, which is, a sign that something is wrong here. While on the other hand, the organic apple has more blemishes, is imperfect, but it tastes much better. It smells much better, and it has a different texture to it. The meat of it is much different. And I've been talking for 18 minutes now. This turned out to be quite a long video. And there are some other things I wanted to say, but it's gone now, as always. Let's wrap it up here. Thank you for all your support, and it means a bunch. And thank you for this co-creation, for this interaction. You are making this video possible by watching this video. So have a nice day, take care, and see you in the next one. Bye.